All right, welcome everyone to session 37 of The Space Between. We're going to start off tonight with a recap from last time by Pete.
So the tiger killed a capybara and traumatized Eva. Then it ran off, chased by a pack of velociraptors. We decided to sleep on the ship tonight. Eva wanted to fix something in the greenhouse before we leave for the night, but we still needed to scan the fusion reactor. It took a little time, but she seemed convinced that she's found evidence that the fusion reactor was sabotaged several years ago. I can't tell if she means like 5 years ago or 50. We let Eva fix something small, and Cherry took down a note for her. I don't know how he did it, but Bo managed to sneak a capybara back to the ship. I'm not surprised that he could sneak it past us. I'm just surprised that it and he didn't get eaten along the way. Cherry looked really upset about the ribbon, though. I'm not sure how a ribbon could be such a big deal, but that's low-hanging ura for you. I just don't want to see it curled up in my charger. That would not bode well for my relationship with Bo. There was more grumbling about a capybara on their ship than hiking through a very dangerous jungle world, possibly with the saboteur still on the loose.
Priorities, man. All right, nicely done. I like it. Okay, so we had left off with everyone settling in for a night of rest on the ship, and that had gone totally fine and uninterrupted. So you were all able to level up and regain hit points and whatever else. And of course, children choose this moment to start screaming my name. Oh, um, let's see. How about you guys chit chat about how your morning is going to go as you wake up for the first time on this planet, albeit in the comfort of your ship quarters. And yeah, I will be back shortly.
How do you guys feel
I think-
about being woken up to the sounds of a loud grinder from Eva's workshop?
Pete would already be awake, so no big deal to him.
How do you think Cherry would take that?
Totally laying down.
To start off with.
And then she
Well, I mean,
wouldn't.
She's not a bat. She wouldn't be hanging from the ceiling, so
She's not?
only with certain people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
No, I feel like she would come unglued.
I'm just imagining her in the doorway with like a face mask on and like her hair in curlers and just like, what is wrong with you?
Eva's in the workshop with her she should definitely have her protective eyewear on. Probably the full on welding, helmet mask thing. She's not currently welding anything. That would at least be quiet-ish. She is grinding the heck out of something with a powerful angle grinder, and she can't hear Cherry.
Is there a light switch in the room?
It's on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cherry would flicker the lights.
Let's see. So Eva has pan-spectral optics. Let me see if she even notices that they kicked in to account for the lighting. Let's see. No reaction. She's still grinding.
Okay.
Probably just interpreted it as the grinder taking a little more power and flickering the lights on its own.
Yeah.
Not remembering that, of course, that's been fixed.
I think I would have given that to her if she'd rolled a 6, but with a 5, I don't think she even noticed that there was any change. the optics just automatically adjusted for the lighting level, and while a normal person would have noticed, yeah, there was a change, it isn't what she's focusing on, so she didn't. Those cherry just keep flickering it. Disco
Yeah,
ball Eva.
she would walk up and stand directly next to her left elbow.
That seems kind of dangerous.
Kind of does.
Yeah, she's gonna trust Eva here. She's too groggy to think clearly.
Oh no! Well, before I react to you, Robert, do you want Pete to come into this at all?
I feel like he's probably wandered in right behind and is just headed like for whetstones just to make sure he keeps his blades sharp. And looks over and like gently grabs Cherry by an arm and backs her up like 12 inches and is like, that's not safe. And then like yells at Eva, Eva, turn it off.
Eva pivots. She turns, and the grinder would have gone straight into Cherry before she actually turns the grinder off. If Pete hadn't moved her. After it spins down, she flips up the welding helmet, smiles. Good morning.
You probably don't want to use a welding helmet when you're grinding. The problem is you can't see when somebody's standing at your, shoulder. I had to back her up so you wouldn't gouge her with that grinder.
Oh, well, why would anybody stand near me when I've got a grinder?
You would probably also not want to use the word good because it started with that ungodly sound.
Oh, no, it started with welding, which was really quiet.
Cherry would step closer to Eva at this point because the grinder is off.
Oh.
Probably in a comfortable range. And her arms are crossed tightly across her chest. And she looks at her and says, I'm talking about someone other than yourself.
I have more welding I can do.
Uh-huh. Did you look at him?
Oh, what was that?
Did you look at the time?
I'm
gonna I don't know what time you're wanting for here.
I hadn't really decided. I just at some point
I didn't know if we're talking like dawn or if we're talking like 8.
Ungodly o'clock.
I'm thinking it's probably earlier than dawn, because didn't you all like drag Eva off before she could get to the workshop and stay up late?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
you
something
gave
like that.
Eva a good night's sleep. So this is probably pre-dawn.
Oh man.
So pre-dawn. Okay.
Yeah.
Does she have a window in her room?
No. The workshop is is in here. Oh, actually, it does have external walls. I leave that to Ben then. I thought it was closed in completely.
I would assume that most of the ship, unless specified otherwise, is not going to have exterior windows.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think the workshop would be a good candidate for no windows, given it's kind of it's sandwiched between cargo bay and like sensor and machinery bulkhead kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Anyway, Cherry would, if Eva's looking at anything that's showing her the time, or if she just says, "Oh no, I don't know the time."
No, she's not looking at much of anything. She's also trying to avoid Cherry's gaze.
Cherry is going to unfold her arms and reach out and just very gently take Eva's hands. And then, in a very sweet voice, she's going to say, I'm going to get you a clock and I will color in the times you are not allowed to use that for the betterment of our crew and for peace. Does that sound like a helpful tool for you?
Well, maybe we could make up a new planning board, a schedule board. And
The
I,
schedule board wouldn't help if you don't know what time it
I'll
is.
mount the clock to the schedule board.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Now, please do me a favor and don't use that thing again until the sun is well above the horizon.
I can't see the sun.
Oh, well, then you should calculate exactly when the sun will be above the horizon, add 30 minutes to it, and then set an alarm for that.
But
Um,
oh, okay. So well above is 30 minutes. Okay, now I can find out when the sun rises. That's fine.
Yeah, I feel like that's exactly your sort of purview.
Oh, easy.
Of
And
course.
so just welding until then. Okay.
Yeah. And then Cherry is going to take the grinder and hand it to Pete.
Is Cherry ready for how heavy a grinder is?
I think she is because she saw how big it is, and she's also used to her brother working on stuff.
Oh,
So,
fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
so she will take the grinder and with a smile as she's taking it, and she will hand it to Pete.
Eva's
And
eyes
then
follow it
say,
longingly.
Thanks, Captain. I really appreciate it as somebody who needs sleep to function.
Okay.
And then she'll look at Pete and give probably for a beat too long, and then just say, I trust that you're also interested in our crew being well rested. Now,
Yeah,
I will
that's why I was using a whetstone.
bid you both good night because it is still night. And then she's going to fold her robe back around her and shuffle out of the room.
There was a protest on Eva's lips, and it was rising to the back of her throat where it got caught.
See, I'm
You'll
just
probably
looking.
just shrug and say, try being a sleep deprived robot. All you get to do is charge, and then you get bored.
That actually sounds like incredibly disturbing sensation. Like feel the desire for sleep somehow, but
But you cannot. So all you
you
can do
can't
is
sleep.
charge, and
Yeah,
there.
it's like, well, I'm fully charged. I just mentally, yeah, in this weird limbo space where I feel like I should be unconscious.
Eva
I've
looks
thought of a
over.
variety of things like that that are normal human experiences that would be very surreal if you were a robot like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Eva
Mhm.
looks over at Pete. I can increase the number of books I've recommended to you. I've only been recommending 3 a week. You obviously go through those too fast.
I mean, but reading more books is just meaning I'm awake. It doesn't help me feel like I'm sleeping. And turning me off doesn't feel like sleeping either. It's like blinking.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird place to be.
Let me think on that for a little bit.
Say, sounds like a potential programming problem.
I think maybe I could talk to what was Cherry's brother's name? Daisuke?
Yeah, Daisuke. Daisuke.
I think maybe I could talk to that one professor of Daisuke that was giving the lecture. And ask about sleep aids for transcendent human robots.
I don't know. Maybe it would. Maybe it would work. I don't know. By the time we get back to Lohanida, figured I would ask our mutual AI friend.
Oh, yeah, of course. He might know something too. Maybe.
Yeah. He offered that if he got the ability, he'd work on getting one of the highest quality scans he could to see if we could diagnose if I am actually a robot or not.
Well, but is there any foundational material for that, or are the scans going to be from the scientific perspective of what humans know about humans and what humans know about robots, not the intermingling of the two?
Fair. I can't answer that. You'd have to ask him. I'm not that smart.
I just think you
But
should maintain level expectations and don't take what the results say as for as a 100% conclusive, because you're special, Pete.
well, thank you.
Oh,
But
I mean
also
like
the
that too.
scans say
Yes,
I'm
yes, you're
working
very special.
perfectly. So that's kind of confusing as it is. That's why I was asking him. Because I figured if anybody had an insight that we wouldn't have already, it would be, a true AI.
It's definitely a good place to seek more information.
Yeah, that was basically it.
Okay. No. Eva will go back to, unless Pete has anything else to say. There's a moment of silence before Eva starts rambling about something and is well, she's not drowned out by a loud machine because she's just gonna be welding now.
Yeah. No, I think they just kind of do their typical work in companionable silence at that point.
Well, by companionable silence, you mean Eva talking and nobody listening.
More or less. More or less.
You best believe. See, I needed to say this before I forget. I'm looking forward to the moment when Cherry realizes just exactly how early in the morning it still is, 30 minutes after the sun rises.
I was thinking
yeah.
the same thing. She has set herself up for disappointment.
Which, tracks because Cherry is, she has not lived a life where she had to know when the sun rises, and I don't know, who knows, maybe on Loe Nuda it happens very quickly that 30 minutes after the sun rises it's nice and bright, and that's just when people wake up. But
I mean, that can be ungodly early. That can be like 4 a.m. some places.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it may also or I could see it being that Eva takes it literally in terms of like sunrise, which there are different, like technically different, like
Yes.
what am I trying, different kinds of sunrise, or different points of the sunrise.
Yes.
And so I can't remember all of them. I used to know some of those terms because I had to, but there's like several different phases of it, and when what we sometimes think of as sunrise is actually fairly late in the process.
Yeah, I think Eva will start counting half an hour from the crest of the very top of the sun over the first bit of horizon.
That's
Does Pete remember then?
Does Pete what? What'd you say, Danielle?
Is Pete giving it to her?
What, when the sun's over the horizon?
Oh, the grinder.
Oh. Oh, probably. Probably.
Oh.
Be like, here you go. You won't get in trouble now.
Oh, good. I needed this right now. And I don't know how much of that Discord it cuts out.
They
Yeah,
got
Long.
some.
Yeah.
definitely got a pretty good bit of your. I love that neither of them thought maybe we should check that Cherry's awake, considering she was the one most concerned about this.
Well,
Cherry
even
had
She said 30 minutes after sunrise.
Cherry had actually put earplugs in her ears when she went back to her room.
Nice. She was
Because
planning on their.
did not trust Eva to wait until a reasonable time.
well, Eva changes her project to something very important.
She hoped. I'll say this: she had hope, but she didn't fully trust it. She went, "Well, not my problem. I did what I could."
Well, this is very important. Eva now starts working on a scheduling board.
Nice.
Yeah. Marking off the week and then highlighting times where things are like safe to do.
Using the grinder to prepare the schedule board from some scrap metal.
Yep.
The irony.
Smooth off those edges.
Just like intentionally picking sharp pieces so that she gets to use her grinder because she enjoys that tool so much. Like, yeah, I probably just looking at like some of her already rounded off pieces. I could probably use that for this other thing, and that would make kind of a nice door panel. Yeah, I guess I just need to make a new one. Just subconsciously convinces herself to pull a fresh piece from the scrap pile. Oh man. All right. Well, does Bo have anything particular he wants to get up to in the morning?
I guess ongoing capybara care.
All right.
Oh, how's the capybara reacting to the noise?
That's a good question. The capybara is staying in Bo's room overnight for the time being, right?
Yeah, I guess he had a spot, and then he was also making a little like kennel.
Okay.
By the way, if the squares are 1 meter each, is that the scale you're going with, Ben?
Sorry, come again?
What scale are you going for with these squares? Or do you have a scale?
I think a meter.
Okay, so
I think I used the meter.
I drew this little bit last time, as like a little offset for the capybara.
Okay. Nice. So does that like has Eva worked on that already? Like making that little kind of like
I think fencing is
almost
what
a
we did.
hideaway.
I think fencing is what we did last time. Fencing and a gate.
Okay. Nice. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah. And I think what Eva was working on this morning was perhaps a replacement panel as well as reinforcement for the wall that she shared with a laser and everybody else got blamed for.
Yeah, I was gonna say the capybara's in the cargo bay there. Honestly, even if it's let's see, what I don't know which room is Bo's. You guys haven't claimed rooms other than obviously the large one is Cherry's room. We haven't designated exactly where anybody else's rooms are on the ship. Um,
I'd say Eva and Pete are probably right up next to the bridge.
okay, makes sense.
Probably.
Eva's is at least. I don't want to necessarily say Pete's is, but she would have liked him close when it was just two of them.
Hmm.
That, and I feel like because Pete was kind of being like the stand-in pilot,
Mm-hmm.
while Eva was the stand-in engineer, I kind of feel like Pete's might have been like right adjacent to it, just in
Hmm.
case an alarm is going off. He can just quick run and not have to hear it, back here.
Makes sense. Let's see here. This gonna be that's too small.
I can get a good Eva color here. Yeah, that looks good. Get a little bit less red. No, that's more red.
Oops. All red.
Hmm.
There's some funky uh what's it called? Fonts in here.
I think Montserrat is my favorite for spacey type stuff.
Hmm. All right.
Poppin isn't bad.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I've got um let's see, obviously there is gonna be cherry. And yeah, you guys obviously can change these around however you'd like. All right. Anywho, yeah, I'd say wherever the capybara is, it is probably doing some little barking and yapping, um, and not having a fun time with the grinding. We'll say it slept through maybe the first little bit, being particularly tired or something. But yeah, it woke up and started yapping.
No.
I
Ethan, you
think
think it
Bo
would?
would stay. Yeah, he would have stayed in the pen with old little Daisy. That was what we did, right?
Apple.
No, not Daisy.
Apple.
Apple.
I was like, whoa, Bo, Bo regressing there a little bit. So
A little bit of a
so like
fixation
down in
there.
the down in the pin in the cargo bay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Cute. So yeah, he's probably accustomed to sleeping through any sort of noise, having had a pretty adventurous life. Um, but yeah, once Apple starts getting up, spazzing out a little bit, and pace, doing some laps around the pin, barking at the noise. I think that'd wake him up for sure.
Oh yes, he'll try to help her calm down.
Yeah, with the noise ongoing, he's not having any luck. She she does seem fine with his proximity, but yeah, she keeps every time the noise continues or if it stops and starts, she's barking and chirping at it again.
He'll go get his hearing protection. Or like shooting and then try to slip the earmuffs over her ears.
Okay, give me an animal handling check, which I guess is going to be survive. Just slipped right into D&D terms.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, give me that survive with wisdom, baby. Okay. Yeah, with a little careful cajoling and the accompaniment of a treat, he does distract Apple enough to slip the muffs over her ears, and they are able to be adjusted just enough to fit on her head. And then as she finishes her treat, she seems to be less concerned about the noise. She takes a couple barks in its direction, and then does a little circle, and then lays down in her bedding again.
Oh, good.
And yeah, we'll say yeah, she's pretty chill at that point, and goes right back to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll hang out there with her. I guess he was thinking of going out and getting more stuff for her, but
Oh yeah, more
figure that can wait until the noise has stopped.
bold assumption there. Okay. So let's go ahead and we can move on to whenever Eva's done doing her thing and everybody else is getting up and ready to actually start the day.
Yep.
Because I gather this was just Eva, getting in some miscellaneous work.
Yeah, so this was just
Read.
background filler, really.
Yeah. Got you.
It was intended to really only last until you came back, but then, it got funny.
Right.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, yeah, everybody is, stirring and getting up, getting ready to start the day, make big plans for the planet and all that good stuff. And Eva's finished up her bit of workshop work for the day and is making sure everybody's getting ready for the day's expedition. Captain, what is the day's expedition, anyhow?
Well, we haven't heard anything on the radio, so Eva wants to um go back out to the outpost. See if anything has been disturbed, if anybody has um done anything with a note that was left or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I think I mean, do we want to have Bo and Zeke continue tracking or trying to track? I feel like the trail is getting cold fast.
Yeah, I think we're planning on picking back up with
Okay.
trying to track.
All right. Then Bo and Zeke can continue trying to track while Eva continues trying to just dig up more detail. Um,
You guys want to split up again? Is that what I'm hearing?
unless we all want to go with him this time, like there might not be much more to learn at the outpost. In fact, I think really the reactor is the only thing that still has any mystery, and Eva figured out the more important part of it. So do we all just want to go with them?
Sure.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah. It certainly puts less strain on Zeke's effort.
Yeah, and it makes sure that well, it's a little less likely that Bo is going to encounter this other bushwhacker unsupervised for the first time.
That is a very good point. All right. So
One that I did want to avoid making until you guys had already chosen for yourselves, for fear of swaying you unduly.
So yeah, Eva will say that we're going to join Bo and Zeke on the expedition to try and find whoever left there. It's only a half-hour walk to the outpost. Why don't we walk to the outpost first? Was it a half hour or an hour?
It was an hour.
It was an hour. I don't know where I got a half hour from. Maybe from uh, Cherry putting the limit on Eva.
Yeah, and Zeke and Bo had gone half an hour past their 10-kilometer range from the ship
Okay.
the night before. So that might have also been a 30-minute thing again.
Okay, gotcha. So it would be 2 teleports back as we continue going. Right?
No, so the ship is basically 1 teleport plus 30 minutes away from the furthest point they had followed the trail.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Like, once we get out there and keep going, then when we want to come back, it'll be 2 teleports.
Oh, yes, unless yeah. It'll be 2 teleports if you want to go instantly, or it'll be a teleport and some amount of hiking.
Right, right.
Which
Okay. So Eva has her planning board set up um, with some bullet points about having Ryu monitor the field radio on the ship and report directly, transmit directly to them if he gets anything, if anybody calls the number that we left. And some helpful tips for traveling through the uncut wilderness. And there's a bullet point for Bo to announce safety precautions at the very end.
okay.
And so she tries to assemble the crew.
Hey, does everyone assemble peaceably?
Yes, at this point, Cherry is more put together than she was at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or whatever ungodly hour it was.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, she it just goes over what we already knew, and then looks over at Bo and says, "And you and Zeke spent a long time out here last time, so would you stand up and give a short lesson on what other dangers we should look for and precautions we can take?" Then she goes over and sits where the people listening to her usually sit.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Did Bo expect to be put on the spot?
He did not,
Does Bo want to do this out of character?
but he
Is that
will
also fun?
stand up, clear his throat, and say, "When you're in the jungle, there's only one thing you got to remember. If you have a thought and you think to yourself, that's something a stupid prey animal would do. Do not do that thing. You live by that rule, and you should be all right."
Mm. Thank you, Bo, for that very inspiring advice. Let's go before we change our minds.
Unless it's the murder squirrels, ain't nothing we can do if they
Zeke,
find
now,
us.
please. Assuming
Alright,
everybody's
Zeke,
kitted up already.
yeah. Zeke steps forward, waits a moment, says, all right, filters on, everybody. Pulls his own down over his face. And once everyone has done so, he will glance around, and then you will all blink out of the ship and appear in the middle of the rainforest.
Okay.
And you can see on your nav comp that you are precisely 10 kilometers from the ship. And Bo had mapped the path that they took following the tracks the day before. So he's able to pick right up and head off in the direction they had been going. And this is a slightly muggier day than the previous one. So lots of moisture in the air. And you guys are breaking into a sweat before very long at all. And the undergrowth that you're trudging through is also a good bit damp. It's pretty well sheltered from direct sunlight, most of it, so a lot of the dew is still covering a lot of the brush. And plenty of sounds of insects and little critters here and there. So, yeah. Up and away you go. Go ahead and give me a survive check from Bo. And we'll see how we start off on this little expedition.
Pete is keeping a sharp eye out for velociraptors.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hello. What's with my sound?
I would offer to help, but that'd probably be worse.
Yeah. Let's see. That was weird. That sounded like it came out of my monitor speaker,
Mm.
which it ain't supposed to do. Oh goodness, I've got Miss Rachel stuff stuck in my head.
No.
All right, let's see. Okay. Okay. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. We still good?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. I had to do a quick little audio device management. Okay, so yeah, 4 is not good. I think that is probably a case where Zeke would send it a little bit of alternate outcome. It is only the very first roll of the day, but being a fairly significant one, I think he will probably do that. So
Before Bo rerolls. Never
Oh.
mind.
Well.
I don't think Eva helping would have helped much anyways. Would only taken it to a 7.
I mean, a 7 is the base, the baseline for successes. I would
According to
allow.
you.
Oh, according to me.
Yeah.
According to the book, I'm pretty sure.
That's 6,
No,
8,
it's
10,
6.
and 12. It's all evens.
What?
Uh-huh.
Because 14 is the highest. And then it's all steps of 2.
I've never operated on 8 being the base. Success wise, and nobody ever.
Revised edition rules, man. Big curveball, huh? I forgot about that.
That's wild, because like, I guess I don't know where I originally got 7 from. Was it from the first edition or something?
I think.
I don't know. I know that a lot of people do because 7 is the average.
Yeah.
And it feels fairly natural. But page 47 has it doesn't actually have a base default. It says 6 is a relatively simple task that's still more than the PC would usually be expected to manage in their regular background. And then 8 becomes a significant challenge to a competent professional that they'd still succeed at more often than not.
Yeah, maybe it's from. Oh, I may be getting it from Spike Drills. That may be where it came from. Well, I'm kind of getting off on a rabbit trail.
Yeah, 7 is the base difficulty for a spike drill, and then you modify from there. So maybe.
And that you. Yeah. Interesting. Well, anywho.
But if 7 is good for like a base difficulty for you, then yeah, can Eva or Pete help?
Yeah, it's certainly a meaningful threshold in this situation. We'll say that much at least.
Yeah.
So I would allow someone to make a skill check to help.
What do you got, Robert?
I have a -1 untrained with a +0.
What other skills could you contribute with though?
Could contribute notice, could contribute stab.
Well, maybe
so probably notice.
Stabbing away the underbrush to make things easier.
She might have stepped on something.
You can certainly take a stab at helping.
I don't think so. It's just a flap of skin. Can do it's up to you, Ben. I can try stab or notice, whatever.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear.
Go stab to assist.
Yes, please stab Bo to assist him in paying attention to his surroundings.
Yes, I will stab Bo.
Yeah, I'd take a notice.
Alright. Notice with wisdom.
Okay, that'll
That's
give him a
alright.
+1. So, with Pete, I guess Pete's able to help him spot maybe a broken stem of a plant that was in the general vicinity. Bo was already looking to try to pick up the trail again, and they're off to the races again. Bo has picked up the cold trail and is heading on along the little bit that little portion that he and Zeke had followed the night before, but now in the bright and early morning. The unfortunate thing is that you do end up walking, following the trail right through some webs that were not there the night before. And so, let's see, whoever the first two people in line are. The little
Probably
evasion save
Pete is
action.
one.
Mm-hmm.
You said like
Okay.
spider webs?
Mm-hmm.
Are these just like standard spider webs that are just being walked through? Are these like thick enough to see that Pete
Yeah,
would cut them?
they're pretty standard standard spider webs. Given why you walked into them without noticing them, give me a little evasion
He
save.
said, no, evasion. Yeah, I figured.
Evasion save for the.
All right. So Bo and Pete, both, maybe Pete more by human reflex, feel the cobwebs on them and do a quick little get the cobwebs off dance. Just in time for them to hear some soft thuds on the ground nearby.
Oh no.
Have dropped a couple large spiders on the ground, which quickly scurry off into the brush.
Those are big spiders, man. I said standard web or not. We're not talking huntsman, okay?
The spider thuds when it hits the ground.
That's a huge spider.
Like,
Hey,
You're
the
talking
webs are-
tarantula or huntsman big, Ben.
I see. I thought I was still considering that within like normal range of I don't know, like earth spiders, not like giant spiders and huge webs that you would have seen from a mile away or something. I guess I could be underestimating the size of some spider webs in Australia or something, but
I mean, spider webs can be huge. Don't get me wrong. It's just the size of the spider isn't necessarily huge.
right. Yeah, and the larger webs, usually the individual strands are still relatively small. So, but fortunately, Bo failed his mental save though.
and with that, he shoots at the spider.
Oh no!
Oh, that's a great idea.
Nice. Which weapon is he using?
Good question. What do I have on here?
Which one does he reach for by instinct? Roll a die.
I need a quick moment, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right
Okay,
back.
go ahead.
If there's gonna be a fight, obviously Pete will stab
Okay,
the spider.
sounds good.
Well, I guess he was probably Hola's. I'll know he's had the nav comp, so then he would definitely go for the loud one.
Be careful flow chart of which gun do I pull as bow. Right off. Should have killed me when you had the chance. Which one is this?
The mag pistol.
Oh, okay, nice. I was gonna say, it might be helpful for you to put in parentheses after the names, you know, what the gun type is, just at least for my sake.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I've got
Okay.
it in my notes at least, but yeah, I should include them on there.
nice. Okay, so the mag pistol. Um, yeah, I don't think we have used mag weaponry before. How do you imagine the sound and the feel of using a mag pistol?
Who are you asking?
I was asking Ethan, but anyone
Okay.
else is welcome to pitch in too, I guess, if you didn't have an answer.
I've assumed it's like our coil gun, so it's probably. I looked up a video of one of the big ones. It's like a rail gun. So you hear the quick like capacitor charge up, and then like a vroom as it
Mm-hmm.
launches the magnetic bullet out of it.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, so
unfortunately, unless Ben says otherwise, oh, hang on.
Oh, is he ruled there? Silent.
No, Crawford has said the
Or-
opposite, actually.
Super duper loud.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
they're.
gonna say,
Oh, there we go. Here's a cool video that has the womb.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
was-
like a cannon-sized one.
mag rifles are different from coil, though.
Well, he says they're different than like the railgun kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. My idea is, I think, similar to what you're thinking, Ethan. Yeah, that it would make a sound like some sort of like a humming kind of, electronic magnets engaging kind of sound, and the whoosh, the it's accelerating the thing to such a speed. There's going to be some kind of sonic boom similar to a bullet breaking the sound barrier. But yeah, the firing the gun itself wouldn't make as much of like a bang sound as a gun, and more of, like you said, that kind of a whoom. But oh, yeah, electromagnetic railgun. Yeah, and that thing is probably a little bit more akin to the railgun.
cannon?
I was gonna say the vehicle mounted railgun that is a thing in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we don't have any hand-sized things in real life, but I figure that kind of noise, but scaled down to the size of a pistol noise, or
Right.
It would still be a pretty good snap. It just would be
Mhm.
missing the explosion component of the sound. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they don't.
And also, I guess I was wrong. I don't remember where I saw it, but it's not strictly in the mag weaponry section. Crawford might have said it in a Reddit comment, or I might have just done a little bit of research into, rail guns. Found
Yeah,
them to
just
be.
kind of the theoretical physics of it.
No, well, I do remember researching into real railguns and being like, okay, well, they're just a little bit quieter than
Yeah, a little more
guns.
science fiction-y. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of what I think. You can get a little science fiction-y, but certainly not silent. So anyway, Bo pulls out his pistol-sized mag weapon and lets off a couple shots, vooming through the undergrowth, sending green foliage fluttering everywhere, and little critters scurrying every which way as well.
I'm assuming he killed the spider, though.
It's a good question. You better go dig around in the underbrush and look for it.
Nope.
21 AC on a spider? Are you kidding me? Higher than 21?
Maybe it has more than 13 hit points.
Ooh, that's even scarier.
You can keep firing with this kind of talk.
I'll just
torch
say,
the jungle.
Bo did not have a direct line of sight to the spider when he fired his pistol.
Oh, so the spider had partial cover.
That's why there's any question about this.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, if he'd been looking right at that, if he'd been looking at that little spider right in its beady little eyes and fired off a shot that, accurate to where he was aiming, yeah, there would probably be very little question about the results, but not at the moment. So, what does Bo think?
I guess that was firing from the hip, metaphorically and literally.
Yeah.
Let's see. You see that thing? About the size of my hand.
Eva, of course, shrieks at the sudden loud noises.
Oh, good thing we're not a bird.
Well, they feed the stuff on this planet.
Lost scouts, probably.
Well, they're gonna have to work a little harder if they want to make us breakfast.
We should keep moving. The noise might draw attention.
Yeah, skip on out of here.
Yeah, we don't need any tigers or velociraptors.
Well, probably
or crabs.
Would have scared off most critters, I'd imagine, but if old Sneaky Beaky's anywhere nearby, I know we're here.
What are sneaky beakies?
Oh, that's what I've been calling our hiding person survivor Robinson Crusoe type.
This isn't an island, Bo.
What
Isn't
is
a planet an island in
void?
space?
Yeah, but an island in space.
No, space
Knows what
isn't
I'm
water.
But it's
Then why do we sail in a ship?
untraversable void.
Void isn't water either. And we say
We
it's
got
a
it.
ship because that's just the language evolved. It's not a sail ship. It's not a water
Yeah.
ship.
Well, why's it got a port and a starboard and a poop deck?
Blame the Navy for that. They're dumb words anyways.
I'm pretty sure space is just a big old ocean.
Let's go.
Eva says, I reject your nautical established terminology and substitute my own.
Eva doesn't even know how to respond to this. She's
Bo,
flustered and has to go.
Bo will try to get everybody moving and ask Zeke about the possibility of space mermaids.
Mm. Zeke has plenty to say on the matter, having read numerous books describing phenomena esoteric across the galaxy.
Robert, that's awful.
I guess that's the latest Jennifer Moon's book under a moon esoteric.
That's a nice title.
Has Zeke been reading Jennifer Moon's novel?
That's classified.
Sure.
And but yeah, I think he'd probably say no and just move on. He would be
Oh,
happy to describe um, some of these depictions and accounts that he's read of encounters with strange and alluring creatures in the less traveled parts of sectors. Yeah, often just far enough away that nobody can easily travel there to verify these accounts, but
Mm-hmm. Of course.
just tantalizingly out of reach. But
we should make that our next job. We found Dino Planet, then we can go to Space Atlantis.
yeah, I imagine that would interest Zeke quite a bit. All right. So you guys
Prove
continue
it's an
following the.
ocean once.
Oh,
I said, we'll prove it's an ocean to evil once and for all.
All right.
I don't know, man. That's approaching dangerous territory here.
I'm picturing the next time you guys are like out in space, Bo would be like, "Look, Eva, watch this. I'm gonna prove it to you." And like getting in a vac suit and going out for an EVA and like doing the swimming motion. Look, you can swim in space too. See, it's an ocean.
What Bo is cruising for is a 3-hour
Bruising.
lecture.
It's funny because it's I feel like that question is striking right at the crux between her intellectual self and her ship's captain self. Like two, I guess competing sources of information. But I look forward to said dissertation. But anywho, yeah, so you guys continue following the trail and keeping eyes and ears open for any sorts of unwelcome guests along your path. And yeah, the rainforest continues with its constant barrage of noise and motion. But for a good little stretch, an hour or so, you manage to keep on the trail even as it twists and turns a couple places. Bo is now ready for such shenanigizing and is able to keep up with it. And you avoid any other major disturbances. go ahead and everyone give me a sneak check with dexterity.
Yay. This is gonna go great.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? Snap. That actually might have
Can you
made it.
roll a dex check for me? Or sneak check, sorry.
Yes, I can.
Doesn't Dex automatically succeed at a Dex check by
Yes.
definition?
Yes, I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, judging by that number,
That's not a number.
straight up 0. 0 is to a number.
No, numbers start with 1 and go up. This is clearly a
Eva.
computer error.
Computer error, yes. That doesn't count as a number. Therefore, does not count as a result. Let's see. Let me find Cherry's sheet up again.
I
Okay.
do think I'll re-roll that though. Well, can I wait and see what everyone else has rolled before I decide if I'm going to re-roll?
Sure. I mean, there's nothing
I mean, that's
rules
a
about that.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes.
Yeah, I just want to be like, if Cherry rolls a 2, well, she can't because she's got a much better dex. But you know, if she rolls like a 4, it doesn't really seem like there's any purpose in re-rolling a 0.
I was gonna say, I don't know what you're talking about. She could definitely roll a 2.
Okay,
is
she can
rolled a
also
3.
re-roll though.
Let's see. We're missing Bo. I think Ethan just said BRB. So
He
Yeah, he
did,
did.
yeah.
let me just for sake of expeditiousness. Where do we find? Apparently, I have Bo open somewhere.
Well,
Okay.
I am still going to re-roll for Eva, and risk the possibility that Ben brings a long scene on me.
All right.
Well, okay.
That is significantly better than a 0 for your
It
average.
is. Yeah.
I am gonna go ahead and roll for Bo. Wow, even Bo rolled very low for himself.
Wow, that makes my check basically the highest because even Zeke didn't beat me. Wow,
Right?
everybody's rolling low.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Danielle, I don't know if you want to re-roll that 3. You actually probably should because
Yeah, I
you
do.
guys are okay. Let's go ahead and re-roll it then. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum, sneak with dexterity.
Oh
Okay,
wow.
there you go.
Okay.
There's a 10 instead of a 3. That definitely just saved you guys. The combination of the 2 re-rolls just brought you up from an average of like 6 to, I don't know, 7 or 8, I think. So nice. All right, so the lot of you, even though there's a little bit of trudging through large brush going on, as a whole are remaining relatively quiet, given the size of your group, and as such are able to come up through some particularly thicker brush and stop yourselves right before coming out of it and notice a a slightly clearer area ahead. It's a little bit of a dip down, almost a small hollow, um, with the large tree dominating the center of it and extending all the way up. It's one of the ones forming the canopy far overhead. And you see a figure down in the hollow. Looks like there's a small stream that's running through it. And this figure is stooped low back to you and collecting water. You can see from here. They seem to be wearing some dark-colored clothing. Looks like it's probably modern make, but it's very worn. And they've got pretty long, unkempt hair.
Okay.
What do you
Well,
do?
Captain,
uh, you pulls back a little bit so we can talk quietly. Does the outfit look like one that would be worn by the people we were tasked to come find?
Yeah, it definitely is in keeping with what you know about them. It was very simple, but definitely looked like modern clothing.
Yeah. Eva says, I think that's our guy. He's probably scared of outside people because of the sabotage, or because he did the sabotage. And so I think Cherry and I should approach Pete and Bo. You circle around and be ready to tackle him or catch him if he tries to run.
it's like 5 of us versus one guy, Eva. I don't think
Oh yeah.
there's a
When Avery's not here,
tactical
I forget
reason.
about Zeke. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, and I think that might be why he would try to run, is if he thinks that we're. I've never hunted a person before. Eva
Zeke,
kind of
Zeke says, "Oh, go ahead."
rocks back a little bit and looks over at Bo and Pete. What do you two think?
Zeke interjects real quick. It's like, "Nah, this is easy. I can just drop us all right on top of him. Just
Oh
pin him to the
boy.
ground. Done deal."
I want to avoid scaring him if we can. And that's definitely scary.
Oh, you want to hunt him without scaring him? Okay,
Well,
I got you.
I want him to talk to us. Like, we're supposed to find out what happened here. Are we supposed to recover people too?
That was not mentioned.
Okay. We're supposed to find out what happened here, and if he thinks that we're the enemy, he's going to lie or just not tell us.
Or he thinks we're pirates and don't care.
I don't know if that's better or not.
I mean, so long as we don't threaten him.
Don't you think 5 people walking up is threatening?
If we don't have weapons drawn, probably not.
So I shouldn't hit him with the taser arrows, is what you're saying.
No.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Well, just let me know when I get to hit him with the taser arrows.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
If you think that's best, then okay.
I guess it can't. I reckon it can't hurt talking to him.
We can't just knock him out first, Bo. And we can't kill him, okay?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
keep all his important bits on him.
Try not to hurt him.
Yeah, y'all do the diplomacy, and if it turns out he's a crazy old coot living in the woods,
Even if he's a crazy old kook living in the woods, we still have to talk to him, so try not to hurt him.
let me just tase him up.
Yeah. With arrows. That sounds so painful. But okay, that's fine. All right, so it sounds like our plan is basically just to walk up and say hi.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god. I think this is a terrible idea.
Oh, it
Sounds like a
probably
plan,
is.
maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Eva is deferring to people that she thinks know how to do this better than she does.
Wait, who
Yeah.
is it? We're saying just everybody walk up?
Yeah.
I would say Cherry has been silent.
I don't know about everybody walk up all at once.
Oh. Well,
I figure let maybe Eva and Sherry be.
isn't that exactly what Eva said?
Oh yeah, I guess you were saying. Well, not everybody. Yeah, there was some muddling.
Danielle, does Cherry have any input on this?
I think she's pretty entertained watching this happen.
You know.
Maybe they also take Zeke with them so that he can immediately teleport out of y'all out of harm's way.
So are we going back to Eva's plan of Eva, Cherry, and Zeke walk up and try to say
Yeah.
hi nicely while Bo and Pete remain ready to try and catch him if he runs or
Yeah, to wrestle.
tase him down if he attacks us?
Wrestle tase.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Eva looks over, but that's what I said.
It was? Oh.
Yeah, but it sounds so much better this way.
I get it. I didn't have a planning board. I'll bring one next time.
I don't
Please
think the
never bring
planning
it.
board would help. I think we were just all distracted thinking the same thing and saying it differently, that's all.
I can't afford to zone out like that in the field, Eva.
I know the
It sounds
planning
so
board is
much better when
distracting.
I
It's
see it.
okay. It's very alluring. Well, let's go. Okay, so I think Eva's so confused right now. She had a good idea, and then she got the result she actually is used to of being, overlooked. And then it came back around to, oh, hey, wait, her idea was good, and that's what's going forward.
So, all right. So Eva and Cherry are going to approach this person,
And Zeke.
and Zeke. Okay. While Bo and Pete hang back and watch from afar, ready to intervene if necessary.
Yep.
Positioning themselves if they can, so that if the guy tries to run, they can try and intercept.
In which direction?
Well, that's for
Enough for a crossfire or a taser shot.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, given the little area, just at a glance, you've got a pretty good view of most directions this person would try to run for a decent little stretch, at least for a couple rounds worth.
Okay.
Um, if you want to try to relocate to another spot around this hollow, I am going to need another sneak check.
I mean, maybe just to the side of where they are, like, so it's not a shot through somebody. That's all I'm thinking.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess you guys managed to approach through, and find a spot that had some concealment, but that doesn't extend very far in either direction. All the brush thins out a good bit around this area. Planning board. Oh dear. Next time it's time for a planning meeting, he was going to be putting out a line of Cheerios down the ship hall. Little tidbits of jerky.
I feel like that's more likely to get Apple, but that's okay. Apple can sit and enjoy the meeting also.
And then Apple wheels in, Bo. Goes back here, Apple. It's trying to save you. Save you from the planning meeting.
Don't do it. It's not as great as it sounds. They're using their. Oh no, never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
Okay. So
Sorry.
do Bo and Pete want to reposition for better angles, or are they able to get good enough angles here?
I think what Ben was saying is no, we're not able to get good enough angles here.
Okay.
Yeah, not what you're talking about from the concealment you currently have.
The problem with that is Pete is not so sneaky.
Uh,
Yeah, he
I'm really lucky.
yeah, he did get lucky. He made a good showing for himself.
Yeah, he did.
maybe just Bo sneak to a better position and Pete hang back so that Pete is closer and able to engage directly in melee if the guy charges at us for some reason.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was leaning towards.
Okay. Does that sound okay to you, Ethan?
That sounds good.
Do it.
All right. So yeah, as Cherry, Eva, and Zeke are preparing to step out and go meet this person, Bo sneaks off to one side to try to flank, get another angle of attack.
And or intercept in case he runs in that direction.
All right.
Nice.
Now that's a sneak.
That's
Bo
a sneak.
Bo slips off into the brush, and Eva, Cherry, and Zeke are sitting there. Zeke asks, "Is Bo gonna go?" Then he looks around. Oh, wait, where is he?
Okay, I think that's our cue. Cherry, are you taking lead on this?
Yeah, I could do that. Do we have anything sugary to take? Well, I guess take it out there.
I'll start packing a little snack pack.
Cherry makes a face like that's the kindest thing anybody has said to her in a long time.
Cute.
Thanks. Thanks, Captain. And she shoves her helmet on. She's like, all right, let's go.
All right. Operation Greet the Crazy commences.
Alrighty. So, you guys, the three of you step out of your concealment and begin down into the hollow. Person still a good distance away turns quickly, hearing your footsteps that you're not attempting to be quiet about, and looks trying to gauge here. So seeing just the three of you, goes wide-eyed. You notice as they turn around, this is maybe a middle-aged woman, and has certainly seen some very rough times. Looks a bit thin, but not like they're starving, and brandishes a shotgun in your direction, and snaps, "Hey, stay back. Who are you?" And backs slowly towards the creek.
Oh, hey, so sorry. We did not mean to like scare you. We didn't really think we were that scary, but I can understand you're like not used to like having friends around, but like we're friends. Like yeah, we're not it's not like that.
Her eyes stay narrowed, darting between the three of you, and says, "Sure you are."
This is at the greenhouse, right? Or
No, we've tracked her away.
No,
we
Jump
tracked
yeah,
her away from the greenhouse.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You're out in the middle of the rainforest.
Okay,
You're like
sorry.
down in like a little hollow,
Okay.
where there's a little stream running through it.
Cherry would say, well, we are like my captain even fixed stuff at your greenhouse and things, and it was really impressive what you did with the greenhouse, and it's obvious you really care about, you know, living. So we thought we'd check on you to make sure, I don't know, you might need help or something. Since, there doesn't seem to be a lot of other people around.
Yeah, found my greenhouse. What'd you do to it? And she continues edging slowly around. She's not like getting far away, but she's just kind of keeping moving a
Yeah.
little bit.
Cherry would kind of laugh a little bit and then she'd be like, well, I think my captain could explain it better. Hey, Captain, what exactly did you do?
You had, and she kind of explains what the problem was and how she fixed it quite easily, of course.
Yeah, so she stops for a moment. The shotgun lowers slightly, and she says, "That was working fine. I mean, I'm no mechanic, but
Well, it it was, you did what you could with what you had, and like now it's more resistant to corrosion, um, and it's gonna last you longer. The power throughput is more efficient, and I wanted to fix more things, but
yeah." And she cuts you off.
mm-mm.
Okay, so you're some kind of what do-gooding troop of She
No, man.
gestures vaguely. You know, um, uh, oh, hoity-toities just gallivanting around the galaxy and fixing random people's green.
No, me, I'm
What
just a
even?
tech genius.
She seems like she's losing capacity for words.
Why are you letting Eva talk?
This doesn't even.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hey,
This is the biggest load of garbage I've ever heard. What are you talking about?
what? I mean, it can't be that big a load of garbage. I mean, surely you've heard bigger loads. It's just, she's a little excited. She just gets excited.
Eva nods.
All right, so sure you fixed my greenhouse or whatever. What? What are you doing here? Why did you follow me?
Well, because something bad obviously happened here. We we've been sent here by other people who want to see if this is a place that might be livable. And then when we got here and we saw, well, the aftermath,
Yeah,
and
you and
then saw
everybody
that there was a
else.
survivor, well, I guess
Which,
one, we wanted to make sure you were okay, and then we wanted to ask what happened.
what did
Yeah,
she, what did she say?
she said, yeah, you and everybody else.
Ah, okay.
Um, says, yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing just great. If you've been there, you can see the colony blew up, and that's that.
Were you from the colony?
Maybe I was.
Can you?
What's it to you?
Well, she kind of looks at Cherry, almost as if asking permission to talk, or passing back to Cherry.
Cherry is not entirely sure what to say to that. So she is going to follow up with, well, I listen, we're not, is there anything you could use help with? Like, do you want to ride off a planet, or
Right off. To where?
no, I don't know, there's a bunch of worlds out there. It could be anywhere. I mean, like,
Yeah,
surely
I
you
know all
thought
about
about it.
that. Yeah, she gives a rueful laugh. Yeah, just take me to a random planet. That'll work out great.
You're telling me what? This is the only planet you've ever known? There's not another planet you can think of that might be, I don't know, enjoyable and not be filled with things trying to eat you? And she says that when she's smiling, by the way, like
Yeah.
being, she's kind of poking back at her. Um,
Mhm. She, she says, well, at least these things don't try to sweet talk me before they try to eat me.
Ew,
And
we're
she
not gonna eat
Thank
eyes
you.
you.
We are not cannibals.
eyes Zeke. Zeke has like a very innocent look on his face.
Look, we just were sent to find out what happened to the outpost, and so if you can tell us anything, that'd be great. And also, if you do want a bride somewhere, then okay. If you don't, I'm happy to help fix some more stuff in the greenhouse. I'll fix it all up for you.
Mm, okay. Well, she considers for a moment. I suppose I could answer some questions for some spare parts. If you
I have some with me.
got some rations.
Um, yeah, I think we have some jerky here.
All right.
And
She
we have some more stores at the ship. If you want us to leave them, we can put together something for you.
all right. I'm listening. Um, she glances around. It's like, you want to settle down here to chat or go somewhere else?
Do you want to go to the outpost? We can get most of the way there real quick.
No, not a chance.
Okay.
Not a good time.
Why is it not a good time?
She gives you kind of a suspicious look for a moment, but then volunteers. Uh, well, this is a good time for predators to pay a visit,
Mm,
and with nobody around to keep them back, yeah, no more wildlife repellent. Yeah, nope, it's not a good time.
okay. We saw some of those, and I can't blame you.
So yeah, here's fine.
Mm,
And she sits down cross-legged, keeping the shotgun across her lap, but not pointed at you anymore. And she says,
That's nice.
"Let me see a couple of these, some of these spare parts you got, and pack of rations, and then I'll answer some questions."
Okay, but um, will it be okay if the rest of us join you?
The rest of you, how many we talking?
Just two
And she's,
more. You knew it wasn't just us three. I'm sure of that, right?
I had my suspicions. And she's looking off. She's now looking in the direction that Bo is currently hiding in,
We
eyes
didn't
darting around.
we didn't know you either, and Eva kind of looks pointedly at the shotgun, and didn't know how dangerous you would be.
Cherry's got like a hand on Eva's shoulder and she's like kind of semi behind her. She's gonna like point very ostentatiously at the shotgun and be like, uh, yeah, that seems to kind of scream danger.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, that's all fine. Just no weapons where I can see him, if you don't mind.
Okay, of course. We really aren't trying to threaten you. I want information more than anything. So,
All right.
and Eva will call over comms for Bo and Pete to make sure there are no weapons visible, and come on out. And if Bo would get a survival kit of rations together before he comes out so that he's not rooting around in his backpack in front of her, that'd be great. And Eva will will go a little bit closer. So the biggest question I have is who sabotaged the reactor? You know?
She looks at Eva a little curiously. What makes you say it was sabotaged?
Well, I told you I'm a genius, and then she'll start explaining what she found.
Give me a talk check from Eva.
Can I use intelligence?
Um, sure. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Oh, I accidentally closed the tab and
It's a good
changed.
thing too.
um, she she screws up her face a little bit as Eva starts going, and then she like raises a hand, turns to Cherry. English, please.
Perfect.
Can I roll for translation?
Yeah,
Eva
sure.
looks frustrated.
Can you roll a talk check for me?
Yeah, I can. We'll do. Well, she only got an 8, but fortunately, that is all she needed in this case. Um, oh, she actually can. She can re-roll that 1. Oh, boom! Yeah, that's like a 13 or something. Um, so yeah, she nails it. I don't know if you understand well enough to just to do it in Cherry's voice yourself. But yeah, basically you can explain it to her about the chemical that the chemical traces that Eva found and the effects thereof that had to have been introduced to the fusion reactor by some other method. And she nods a little bit, intrigued, and says, "Well, I don't know about all that. What I can tell you is there was well, it was a storm like none we'd ever seen, and came basically out of nowhere. Um, Practically small boulders getting blown through the colony. Um, Old Jim got nearly smashed in half by one. Um, so we were all just hunkering down, and then next thing I knew, uh, struck lightning right in the middle of the colony, and in a flash, reactor was gone, bunch of people dead, uh, and
Cherry's
yeah, it was
thinking
all
back
downhill. Mhm.
to what Zeke showed her
Yeah,
and trying to compare the two.
yeah. She says it was all downhill after that. So I don't know about sabotage, but yeah, it was a disaster, all right. So are you asking for my input on Eva's comparison? I mean, sorry, on Cherry's comparison of the two.
What'd you say?
Were you asking for my input on how Cherry would compare her vision to what this lady said?
Yeah, like do they seem to match up?
Yeah, it sounds like a reasonable conclusion of someone who was there, but not, who didn't see everything that you got to see. Because there was a flash of lightning that struck the
Mhm.
reactor building, essentially, and that then the explosion happened.
Well, unless Cherry cuts in with that information, Eva, as she's putting together the last of the units of spare parts, that doesn't, lightning couldn't introduce those chemicals unless they were already in the air, and then she'll kind of talk about some kind of electrical transfer osmosis, something rather.
hmm Um, has Eva has Eva done an analysis of the atmospheric composition on the planet?
You know what? I don't think we've said it, but I do think she would have done that because we were talking about the chemicals, and I also remember mentioning her wanting to do it, I think, when you said that certain chemicals were introduced. She wanted to know if they could possibly be local.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I
So,
got you.
yeah, if you're willing to let her have done that when we got back to the ship, then she definitely did.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, and I'd say that the just a quick check on the atmospheric composition that you'd taken samples of, both entering the atmosphere and around the colony, um, did not turn up any traces of that of, I guess, any one of the chemicals that could have caused a reaction like that.
Okay, and then she'll add that the chemicals would need to have been introduced uh externally because they don't exist in the atmosphere.
Hmm. All right, well, if you say so. But yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Am I allowed to walk these up to you, or do I have to like leave them halfway between us, or just got the
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
you can bring him close if you don't mind. Staring down my shotgun. That's fine.
Halfway is fine.
Yeah, that works for me too.
And Eva will walk them close to her and let them sit and then, step away.
Has Bo finished getting a little pack of some rations together?
Hmm.
Okay. I didn't know how many he had that he was sticking in a pack. But how many spare parts is Eva giving her?
3 units, so 150 credits worth.
All right. Yeah, that's really nice. So that's a good little bundle that's got a lot. So as you step back, she you know moves to her knees and goes forward just enough to grab the bundle and drag it over to herself and poke through it. And she looks surprised and smiles just faintly. Says, "Yeah, that's pretty good stuff." I She holds up one little capacitor to the light, looks at it a little closely. Yeah, I was hoping I could find one of these intact.
What did you do before? How did you learn? Like, you obviously weren't born here.
She raised an eyebrow at Eva. Oh, obviously, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, how would you have learned how to make and fix equipment?
She chuckles and shakes her head. No, I was born and raised. Uh, I've I've been up to the station once, but yeah, no, down here suits me just fine.
Oh, wait, you're native?
Yeah,
That's really cool.
I'm about as native as any human could be. Uh, I wouldn't say I'm a native though. That's a whole other category. But yeah, no, I was I guess the chief botanist you'd call me, though we hadn't really had anybody officially taking that title for a while. Uh, Pretty much have to cross pollinate to keep all keep all the systems running smoothly. So yeah, I learned a thing or two about a little bit of everything. Um, she looks down at the pile of parts. Um, yeah, I'm sure you saw that I'm not exactly a electrician or a mechanic by trade, but
I mean,
Make a passable job of it.
without formal education, I'm even more impressed at what you accomplished.
Uh, Formal's relative, I guess. It's about as formal as it gets around here.
I have a professor that would like absolutely love to hear everything you could say about growing up and living here and everything you know about here. Would you do an interview? It wouldn't be
Hmm.
me giving it, it would be Cherry. Like, so just so you know, you wouldn't have to put up with me.
uh, a whole interview, huh?
Please.
He takes in a sharp breath and blows it out slowly. I don't know, that whole interview, I think that'd be pretty expensive.
I'll double what I just gave you.
What about those rations? I heard something about rations.
We have more, sort of, space-worthy food. It's not the tastiest, but it will last forever. As long
That's
as forever's not more than 2 months.
oh. Well, hey, 2 months is fine by me. Tasty, I didn't enter into it. I just
Oh,
need some.
what about local spices?
Uh, he shrugs. I don't need that. Shelf life is what I'm after. But 2 months is better than nothing.
Mhm.
And she says, "Yeah, you double that sack of parts there, and rummage up. I don't know. Can rummage up a couple weeks worth of food that'll last in these kind of conditions. Yeah, I could see myself doing an interview, tell you everything you want to know."
Thank you.
Now, she she takes the little sack of parts and takes some cord from her own pack and strings it up to put over one shoulder. Now, I don't know if you're wanting to, unless you got more in that pack than it looks like. We probably need to part ways for now and meet up again another time. She's standing up and just eyeing the surrounding foliage a little warily.
Yeah.
Doesn't pay to sit still for too long out here.
Mm. Oh, that. Okay. Where should we meet up again?
We can meet here again, or if you wait about 3, maybe 4 days, we could probably meet up at the outpost again. Should have calmed down a little bit by then.
Does 3 to 4 days interfere with our timeline at all?
Not that I know of.
Uh,
I don't believe you guys have a specific timeline.
okay.
I don't know of anything that would conflict with it being 3 or 4 days, but P might offer. I don't know how you're gonna get back a couple weeks worth of supplies. Do you have a hand cart or something, or do you need that? 3 4 days, we could probably make one.
Mm. She looks him up and down. Hand cart, huh? Yeah. If you're throwing a hand cart into the mix, I'll give you a personal tour of the place. Uh, I was going to use a little makeshift sled. All of our larger equipment, well, it's been long gone.
Hmm.
She she looks between you, a little concerned for a moment. Say, just occurred to me, you asked about me being a native. I don't guess you've met the natives yet, have you?
We
I'm
met.
sorry, the what?
The natives, the
Please,
Strians.
please
Hmm?
tell me you're not talking about the capybaras. Oh, I'm sorry. What you were saying? The Strians, like people, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, more or less. I guess not. So, yeah, just, well, be careful. They don't, they don't seem to care for us too much after after the reactor blew. Um, things were always a little tense, not being able to communicate and all that, but, yeah, no, uh, they didn't like, they didn't like that at all. And, so ever since then, I pretty much avoid them on site.
Hmm. No, we haven't met them.
Yeah,
So I
well,
assume they're aliens.
yeah, guess probably so. Either that or very very mutated humans. And they're pretty much humanoid. Uh, she looks a little indecisive. Says, there was some debate about it. They they seem to have some, I don't know, some characteristics of either crustaceans or bugs or something, but their faces are human enough, I guess. It's more their skin and they're like this their exoskeleton and stuff that a little weird. And they don't talk like us. Uh,
Does this sound like what Cherry and Zeke saw?
yes, this is sounding exactly like what Cherry saw in her and Cherry and Zeke saw in their brief vision.
Hmm.
Zeke is maintaining, I'd say, a good poker face. Um, but she says, yeah, they usually kept to themselves. We'd run into them every once in a while, running the same circles, but we left them alone, and they mostly left us alone. It worked out okay, but yeah, anymore. Well, they got a little they got a little aggressive with the ones of us that made it through that one stormy night.
Hmm.
So yeah, we don't really. I don't try to run into them anymore.
Hmm. Uh, uh, do you think they would take affront at our ship being here?
Mm, yeah, I don't know. Uh, they usually steer way clear of any off-world visitors. Um, it, they seem to, well, they sure know what a ship means, and they don't have anything to do with it.
Mm.
So your ship should be fine.
Okay.
But yeah, if they catch you too far out from your ship, can't make any promises.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm sorry you're out here all alone, but I guess if you like it,
I miss some of the people sometimes, but yeah, those were people I knew and grew up with. Strangers, I don't really miss strangers. I
hmm.
think I'm good.
Did you see a lot of strangers? Oh, we should go, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should. But hey, we'll talk again. And she starts to walk off. Um, so outpost, 3 days, 4 days, something like that.
Yeah, I also left, wait, did we leave a field radio there, or I think we just left the frequency of ours in case. So Eva will.
Yeah, I just remember it being a frequency.
Okay. Do you have a field radio?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I took that thing apart for spare bits forever ago.
I thought I recognized that wire and that circuit. Okay. Um,
Genius, huh?
I am. It's certified.
Perry will literally elbow her when
Um,
She smiles. She does seem a little bit impressed.
At full of how full of herself Eva is.
Yeah, she seemed a little impressed. She was definitely smiling at the fact that Eva immediately was like, "Yeah, I am."
Yeah, upon being elbowed, Eva defers, looks over at Cherry, and basically passes to her.
All right. Is there anything else Cherry wanted to say before bidding her farewell?
Can't really think of anything. I'm sorry, I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep right now and a cup of coffee.
I guess just to confirm that, yeah, we'll check in at dawn in 3 days and 4 days time. At dawn and at noon. How's that?
Okay. Yeah, she
at the outpost.
she agrees to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that way we're also not like constantly there attracting predators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And okay. So she'll do that, and I guess there were Bo had may have glossed over that. I guess if Bo would have come out peaceably enough, then she would have taken the proffered provisions as well.
Okay.
And she would head off, stepping in the middle of the little stream and following it upstream out of sight.
Bye, friend.
Glancing over her shoulder occasionally to watch you.
Well,
Did we exchange information with her? Like how to reach each other?
yeah,
I know you gave her the radio, but
didn't actually give her a radio, but basically she said to
that would have been smart. Yeah, I'm kidding.
I mean, we could if she thought that was an idea. Like Eva does have it stowed.
Yeah, she didn't ask. She didn't ask for a radio. She agreed to meet up at the outpost in 3 or 4 days' time.
Yeah, Eva was okay with that, but if somebody else wanted her to be in better communication with us, I think they would have known that Eva does have her a field radio on her.
Would anyone have spoken up?
Nope.
Nope.
All right.
It honestly feels fine to just meet her at the outpost, like she asked. It would almost feel like a little bit pushy if we said, yeah, your plan is fine. Here, take a radio and talk to us.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. So she moves off into the brush upstream and out of sight.
Now, I'm curious if Zeke makes sure that she's gone before starting to teleport us back.
Yeah, he definitely does not want to, show off to strangers what he can do.
Okay.
He would definitely wait for the signal that, hey, it's time to go.
We'll walk back out of the clearing here, out of the the open area, and back on the trail from whence we came, and then he can teleport us.
Okay.
And if we're close enough to the ship that it's only like, well, does he need to care about conserving his effort? I feel like Avery has characterized Zeke as preferring to take the easy psychic way instead of, traveling for 2 hours.
Yeah, he does tend to like that, and he's got enough right now that doesn't mind using. The thing is just that every time you guys jump, it takes one for the scene and one for the day.
Mm-hmm.
By himself, it's just for the scene, so he can do that basically a ton of times every day, just as long as it's somewhat spread out.
Mm-hmm.
But taking people along dings him one for the day. So that's all. But I don't think he'd save you guys a couple hours of trekking to take 2 jumps. I think he'd be willing to do that.
Okay.
So he can do that twice. And as you guys are getting ready to jump out first, you spot a small herd of little kind of deer-like critters darting off through the brush a little ways away. And then with 2 quick hops and a skip, you can be back on the ship.
Eva is really pleased with how that went.
Nobody even got hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
And you seemed to have ended on good terms with this person.
Pete will raise the point that it seemed like she was talking about multiple people, using words like we and other things like that.
I didn't get that at all. Do you think there are more of them?
I don't know.
Maybe she's just a kook.
But I guess it makes sense. Where there's one, there could be more.
Maybe we should set up some cameras at the outpost just to make sure. If
Nah, she'd be smart enough to figure that out.
Well, I guess maybe I'm worried that she could ambush us.
GM, would a survey scanner aimed at the outpost give us a general idea of like where people are? Like, do we detect an ambush with that or no?
No, a survey scanner is going to be more like, doing readings on conditions in kind of your immediate area and on little samples of stuff. It's not really like a
So not like a
long
wildlife
range
survey even.
No, it's not built for that kind of long range stuff. if you had like the survey, suite or whatever it's called on as the ship fitting, that is geared up with all kinds of high tech, powerful stuff that can do some very detailed work from orbit. But no, the
Yeah, too
handheld
bad we
thing
don't.
is
Yeah. Hmm.
that is a nifty Kino thing. No, and yeah, I don't know. As far as cameras, I'm sure that Eva could probably piece something together. But yeah, it might be difficult to. Well, it would be difficult to craft something from scrap that would be subtle enough to hide somewhere and try to get covert footage of the area.
Okay.
Like the obvious answer would be to just do a game camera, but like again, she'd be smart enough to look for those things.
Yeah, probably so. It's plausible that you could potentially hide something like that well enough in the foliage and brush and whatnot to.
Oh sure. My thought was just that now that she knows we're around and
Hmm.
Eva already messed with her uh camp area, I just
Yeah.
kind of assumed that she'd be paranoid because
Mhm.
that's how she was acting.
Yeah, that does seem reasonable. She would almost certainly look around for stuff like that.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think we're at a pretty good stopping point. I'm seeing it's 11:20 already.
Yeah.
So, congratulations, everyone. You survived a whole session at level 7.
Woohoo!
Well, I was doing my level up today. I was like, you know what? We haven't had a real pitched battle in this new campaign.
No, you have not.
Level
I know.
7, no pitched battles.
Why would you do that to us? Why would you
You
bring
knew
that
it was
up?
coming.
Yeah, let's say that's how it goes. Sometimes but especially the way you guys play, you tend to do a pretty good job of avoiding that sort of thing unless it's just forced
Yeah.
upon you. Um,
I mean, you could also say sometimes you pitch and sometimes you catch.
yeah. I mean, I will say the roadside ambush on Urala, I think, was pretty pretty close, pretty well pitched.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was pretty close. But we were just getting out of there.
Yeah, it was more of
We were
a
all like level 2 or something.
Yeah.
skirmish. Were
We
you
were
that
very
low? I
low
feel like
level.
you were.
I think we're 3.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I know, right?
I know a couple of you took some hits, but yeah, no,
Eh.
you were
Yeah.
fortunate enough. You played the hit and run game pretty well. That was a fun. That was a really fun encounter. I felt like.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
All right, well, let's see. Let's get our faves for the sesh. And looks like we're starting with Ethan this time. What was your favorite, Ethan?
I don't know if it's a favorite, but the giant spiders were definitely memorable.
Memorably giant spiders. I feel like memorably is a word.
Mhm.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Looking at it typed out, I was like, that doesn't look like a word. I feel like it is a word. All right, Robert, what about you?
Embracing the 3 a.m. grind.
Oh, nice. All right, Robert gets an extra point for pun of the night. Let's see. We do not have Avery tonight. More sad us. All right, my favorite. Boy, oh boy, there were definitely some quality moments. Oh boy, I guess it would be. Let's see. Did I bump that? I bumped a little bit. Yeah, I think. I don't know how to characterize it, but the plan coming full circle, I think was definitely one of my favorites. Of Eva being like, "Isn't that what I said the first time?" And then somebody said, "Yeah, but it sounds better when we said it." Or maybe I'm paraphrasing there, but that was gold. And then I think my second favorite. Well, I'll come back to my second favorite if nobody else calls it out. Danielle. What was your favorite of the session? Uh-oh. Sounds like we may have lost her. The 2 hours of sleep has perhaps caught up to her.
Her favorite is getting a little bit more sleep during the session.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to her then. Dex.
The snack pack being the kindest thing anyone has said to Cherry in a long time.
Let's see, the snack pack. I'm trying to remember. That Eva had offered to pack her a little snack pack.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a good moment. I like that. I guess I'll say I liked my other favorite was talking down the sneaky beaky.
That was pretty good too.
I I enjoyed because I felt like what at least was a major contributor to it, and it, even though it was just, she was just having to take Eva's word for it, Eva being able to talk about in detail the design of her greenhouse makeshift setup and talk about having tweaked something or fixed it just because, just being such a bizarre and disarming thing to talk about and to to claim to have done, that it and the just the earnestness of Eva was enough to kind of take her off her guard a bit and just be confused enough to then be approached more and willing to listen a little more closely to what you had to say. That was just, I felt like that was fun. A little bit of Eva planning paying off.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I feel like I remember her saying, at least justifying it to the others in some way, by saying, well, maybe this person will be nicer to us if we, if I help them a little bit. Even though really she just wanted to fix it because it needed to be fixed.
Yeah,
but
she was
like, yeah. She was like acknowledging that there could have been an ulterior motive. There was another good reason to do it.
That's like your kid when you tell them to stop playing the game on the TV, saying to you, "But Mom, it helps my reflexes."
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. All right.
All right. Posted with Danielle missing, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could have moved her there. Oh, was that a noise I just heard from Danielle's mic?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, no, it was not. I heard a noise from somebody, but I wasn't looking at the screen when I did. Alrighty. Well,
See.
I put the XP in character development. I am missing. Let's see. I guess it just looks like Danielle's and Avery's. I can do Danielle's because we did it together right before the session start, and I'll get with Avery about that later. But I think we're done with our session for tonight. Thanks for playing.
End the stream here.